Hello, everyone. It is a beautiful Monday, and I'm here with Megan, and we are here to drop a little bit of motivation, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of tips and tricks to help you start winning in your life. Today is a great day. I know that a lot of people start things on Monday. They're like, it's a new week, it's a new day. And so let's be focused and disciplined. And I know that a lot of people are starting into summer vacation, so schedules are starting to change. And so we wanted to go live and talk to you about using the summer effectively. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I feel like my life over the last year has kind of just been taking care of whatever's loudest. Whatever's loudest in my life, I'm giving the attention to. And so that means that sometimes my health gets put on the back burner, my relationships get put on the back burner, my goals and dreams and wishes that I want to accomplish kind of get put on the back burner because I don't have clear direction of where I'm going, when I want to get there, how I need to do it, and have the roadmap. So that's what we want to talk to you guys about today.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And honestly, actually, leading into the summer, we kind of have our summer underway a little bit ahead of I think some people. We've been off for a couple weeks. I don't know. And I just remember telling my husband like last summer didn't go the way I wanted it to. Like you said, I didn't have the priorities that I wanted in place, and so those didn't get my best attention and weren't well served. And so this summer going in, I'm like, things had to be different. And so I just had to kind of write down my priorities and figure out how we're going to do that. And so I can enjoy the summer in all the areas,
Right.
whether it be health, kids, business, whatever.
So let's ask people that are watching or watching the recording. Come summertime, like what are your priorities? Write them in the chat. I know for me, when I was teaching school, it was like the summertime was my chance to like go through all of my teacher material, like kind of throw out the bad, keep the good, and kind of have a fresh start going into the school year. So I'd use the summertime to go through that. And then I would also use the summertime thinking like I'm gonna have my best body ever. So that way when I show back up into school come September, like I'm looking good, not just like a tan couch potato. Like I wanted to be looking like good, like, and I could still be able to fit into my teacher pants, right? So those things were important. And then just being able to spend time with my kids because I was working full time. And so to just have time where we could go and hang out at the splash pad or we could go to summer movies together. Someone says to survive, right?
Yeah.
But now that I've been home full time, like our summers, we still are structured. I'm still waking up early and getting my workout in, focusing on my health. And so now that I'm home full time and now my kids are here for the summer, we're going to camps for them. We're still doing school time and reading time and piano. So we kind of kept that routine. So I'd say for me, summertime right now, my priorities is I'm working on my health. I'm working on like time blocking and scheduling for what's important, which we're going to get more into that.
Mm-hmm.
And also enjoying the time with my kids, but also keeping them on a schedule so that way they still have that discipline come the school year.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Well, I'm one, like, I like count the days down for summer. I love when my kids are home. But at the same point, like I said, there are days last summer that I felt like my husband come home and be like, he wanted to walk right back out the door because I was like losing my mind. But we weren't, like you said, we didn't have this routine going and we didn't have things kind of figured out. And this summer is going so much more smoothly. So honestly, my top priority is the time I want to be with my kids and have that good quality time where I'm not like losing my mind. My health is very important to me because, well, it's just I have to, and my business, and it's finding that time, and I really truly feel like you can have all that when you have set a routine and you make your priorities known, and sometimes you have to put them on paper, or your phone or something like that. But it's literally just enjoying those simple things too.
Right.
You
And
know.
so we want to talk to you guys about not So drop a one if you can relate to this. I'm going to try and explain it the best that I can. But let's just say since January. Since January, have you hit your goals? Okay, we're 6 months into 2023. Maybe you set some New Year resolutions, whether it was financial goals. I know for me, I had financial goals. They were big financial goals. I was like, we are paying off this house. Like, I am hitting this rank. I'm going to make this much money a month, right? Like, I had some really big financial goals at the very beginning of the year. I still have them. I had some health goals at the beginning of the year. I had family relationship goals, church faith goals, all those things. And here we are, the 6th month. Be honest with yourself. Okay. How many of those goals have you hit? What would be your answer, Megan?
Oh, I don't know. I would say my health goal, I feel like I'm rolling pretty good on that one because I just do, mine are more little goals with that. And the family time, I feel like I'm doing pretty well at. My business, same thing. Like I'm still I feel like it's an ever growing process with that.
So do you have like a goal that you were like, that had like a finish line? Because I know that like you have like ongoing goals, but did you set any goals that have a finish line that you can say, I did that?
Honestly, at this point right now in my life, no, I don't, because I feel like all of mine are like progressively. I always seem to be like, I'm not really good at finish lines. I'm like, keep going until I get it, like just keep going. And when you do, you just kind of keep snowballing past that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just my head, that's just how I look at it, because I don't want to, that's just.
I know we don't want to set ourselves up to fail, and I know that so many times I get really close. So like a weight loss goal, for example, like I have a number I'd like to hit and I get really close to it, but I haven't ever hit it yet.
Yeah.
And why? And even if I hit it, I still might go back down, or I still have to continue to maintain, right? So like I understand what you're saying, where like goals are like continuous and you always grow and evolve for sure. But like, how many times do we say we're going to do something, but because we don't make it a priority, because we don't have a game plan for it, we're just constantly spinning our wheels and sometimes not even moving forward, or sometimes we get in just like a rut where we're doing the same things. And so we're not getting any closer. And so we want to like help you guys get closer. We want to help you to be able to say, yes, I checked the box. Yes, I completed that goal. And I know everyone's heard of like the term SMART, where it's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely, and setting those goals. And there's nothing wrong with having vague goals. There's nothing wrong with having small goals and never changing goals. But what I found with myself is I'm not really moving. I'm not really getting closer to those financial goals. I'm not really getting closer to those weight loss goals, because every day I do my little things, but I'm not there. Like I'm not really making it a priority in my life to be able to check the box, And I don't want to have another summer. I don't want to have another 3 months where I'm still spinning my wheels. So this is like my come to Jesus moment. This is like my, okay, like what's really important to you, and what are the steps and actions that need to take place in order to make those priorities actually happen in your life.
Right. Well, and like I said, for me, like I always celebrate, like for me, goals are those action steps. Like I think it's just more of a different outlook. And so like I feel like I can check it off when I'm committing every day to getting up and taking those action steps. Those are check marks for me, and those check marks and those action steps are leading to a bigger thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course I have certain goals as far as my health goals in my business, like where I want to be in my business. I just tend to make the check marks on my action steps. Like I really want to make sure I'm consistent with what I'm doing each day,
So let's break down the action steps, okay? Because I think that is definitely step one in making your goal complete. And so if you haven't ever done this, like first thing you want to do is you want to like set your goal. And then you have to like reverse engineer it as far as like, what are the action steps that you need to take? So let's just talk about our health and wellness, because both of us have been through our own health journeys when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to being healthy. And I feel like for me, I know an area that I lack in is drinking enough water, and so making sure that I have alarms set in my phone, or I have water bottles all over my house, or I have, a reminder, or I'm doing a water competition or anything like that, definitely helps. I know that eating more often rather than starving myself and binge eating at nights is very important. And so making sure that you have different snacks or different like fuelings that you can easily grab as you're on the go and having your busy life. And I also think telling my husband like, hey, I need you to feed me if I'm not feeding myself. Can you help me out? And my kids even cook for me sometimes when I'm just busy and I need some help. And so I know that those are two things that I've found were hindering me from reaching my health goals that were easy fixes.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I like habit stacking. I mean, that's a huge building little healthy habits is what our whole purpose for a huge purpose for both of us is why we're here. But like you said, let's say it's X amount of pounds you're looking to lose. Like you said, reverse engineering and look at these different habits that you could probably put into place. And some simple ways to do that is habit stacking on something that you already do. For instance, I could do it with my eyes like taped shut, making my way to my coffee pot in the morning. Like it's just something I do. So where do my morning supplements sit? Out. I bought a cute little it sits on our countertop. It's like a little shelving unit. It's got all my supplements that I need. So like, hey, I see them. They're not hidden behind a cupboard. They're out in a cute little shelf for me to know to take them every morning with when I make my coffee. Actually, I even have my collagen coffee sitting on that. It's there for me. It's a habit that I already had in place, something that was so easy, and I stacked something on top of it that's going to help me to hit my goals. And that could be anything, just like going to bed in your workout clothes, whatever. Right. That's not me. Mine are, sitting out in my closet, but I have them out. So when I get up in the morning to go get dressed right away, they're right there. Obviously most of us get out of our jammies at some point, right? So like when I walk into my closet to get dressed and they're right there, that's a stack on something that I already do. And right. So it's that cue is having your supplements set out. It's that cue of having your workout clothes on when you wake up because you're like, oh man, now I got to work out. They're already on, Right.
And even like too, like if you're driving kids places, like turn on some personal development instead of music, or if you're going to go walk on a treadmill, listen to a book. And I've listened to books on nutrition, which that just like inspires you when you figure out how food works in your body, that it makes you want to eat healthier. When you figure out like what water does for you, when you figure out like what exercise does for you, because you've done a little bit of like homework, a little bit of reading. So how can you implement those in your everyday life instead of just watching Netflix, or instead of watching Netflix before you go to bed, what if you listen to a book or a podcast or something?
It's so simple. Even like getting your protein in, when you go to make a sandwich, double your meat. Like whatever you're eating. Like I was having, when I make anything, like whatever the recipe calls for, I double my protein that I'm eating. Easy. I mean, it's just like, I got to eat, right? So if you can look through your day and these things that you do, write down 5, 6, 7 things that you do habitually already and see where they can line up with whatever goals that you have and what you can stack on top of that.
Yeah. So step 1, create your goal. Step 2, reverse engineer the things that you need to be doing. And then step 3 is habit stack those things that you need to be doing on things that you could do with your eyes shut, like that you're doing every single day. And then I would say the next thing is to actually like look at your day and time block it out. When I was at a training this weekend, she was talking about how she uses this red, green, yellow method when it comes to working her business. And the green is like family time. Like this is like blocked out space in the day where it's like specific for family time. And then yellow is kind of like the in-between time where she can listen to personal development. She could respond to messages, anything like that she needs to do. And then the red was like strict business work. And like I was mentioning, is like, you got to have your priorities straight. If you're really working towards a certain goal, whether it's health, whether it's financial, whether it's relationships, you have to be strict on the time that you're giving it and be all there in those times. And when you actually like look at it, so let's say you had an hour by hour calendar and you like fill in your day, like this is what's going on. And then you take those 3 colors and you highlight it. There is time for everything, but we get so distracted when somebody asks us to do something and we just say yes. And we don't make our priority, which causes us to not hit our goals. When you think about you, for example, you had a really long weekend, and then when it came time for this morning, if you want to talk about this, like regardless of how you felt, you had this in your schedule and this is what you do.
Yeah, no, I mean, we both, you had a busy weekend and you still came home and adjusted a little bit. That's the other thing. Give yourself grace and got on and did our team Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
We got home really late last night after being gone all weekend, and my boys, who have got their routine too, we're up and at them. They just know, like, this is what we do Monday mornings, that we get up, we get ready for practice, and we go. And yes, I was sharing with you that, like, last summer it was willy-nilly, and I let my workouts go because I'm like, I didn't make time for it. I didn't find a time for it. And this morning now I have a habit of, when my kids are in the pool, I go up to the gym, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, you can see the bags under my eyes still. Like, I didn't really want to, I didn't want to do it at all. But because that's the time I have allotted, it was like, there's something that comes over you that you're like, okay, lock my butt up there. Mm-hmm. And you feel good once you do it.
Right.
And I just want to address the thing. I know, like, from somebody who's like a recovering, schedules, like, I don't like that. And just, those of you, drop a 3 in the comments. I don't even know, or whatever. If you hear her typing, you write down hour by hour and you just start to get anxiety thinking about that. Like that was me. And honestly, even sometimes I still feel that way. I'm like, I don't want to schedule out my whole day. Like, I don't know. And you guys, it's like, it's so weird. I still feel that way, but I also know I thrive better on having a schedule. Now, I have also learned schedules, especially for us women, we wear many different hats. You have to learn to give yourself grace because things do change. A kid needs to, I just dropped my son off at lifeguarding. He, last summer, I remember one time he got sick. I had to drop what I was doing to go get, like, we have those things. So there is that given whatever, but to know that you have a schedule to a certain extent, you are going to thrive on that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you have to make time for what's important. And whether it's one thing that's important or whether it's a couple things that are important to you, like, it's important to recognize them. So I sat down with Derek actually before I left this weekend to go on this trip. And I think it happened at the perfect time where I was like, okay, what is really important to me? Like, what are my priorities? Where do I need to pour my time into? And so, I sat down and I figured out what was important, and I could narrow it down to 4 things. And 4 is still a lot of things to focus on. But I was like, if I do 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, that I'm making time for this, then I'm going to be moving forward in the direction that I want to go. And then I've, reverse engineered it. What are the pieces that I need to do? I've habit stacked the things I'm not good at with the things I am good at. And I'm going to say no. So when people ask me to take on more, I'm going to have to say, no, I can't do that right now. Or I'm going to have to delegate to somebody else. Like, who else could do this? Because I'm not the only person on planet Earth that can do these things. Mm-hmm. And so I just had to say, I'm sorry, like, this is not a priority for me right now. So I'm not able to help with that, and be okay with that, because that's the only way you're going to move forward, is if you treat your priorities with respect.
Well, and one thing I heard on a podcast, which is, again, if you're, when you're listening to self-development, you learn a lot. When somebody asks something of you, you can politely decline. Tamika, let's say you asked me something, and I just couldn't take it on, to say, you know what, that's a huge compliment. Thank you for that. But with my schedule, the time just doesn't allow it. So I'm going to have to politely decline. It's that simple. And so many of us think we're being rude by doing that, me included. Who doesn't have a hard time saying no?
Right.
There's very few of us. And if you don't, share the wealth, because most of us do struggle. It is, because you just want to make sure everyone's taken care. It's the women in us, like, we just want everyone to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. But you can't, because then that leaves nothing for you. And you guys, by setting goals and what's important to you, you're going to, I kind of cut you off and I said, but you deserve that. You're worth that. If you want more family time, then set a goal to make that. If that's what's going to make you happy. If you want to grow your business, and set time to do that, if that's what's going to make you happy. If it's your health, if it's more time with your dogs or your cat, whatever it is, you deserve that.
Yeah. It's not selfish at all.
Oh.
So, I want to know, put it in the chat. Okay. Whether you're watching the recording, whether you're here with us live, what is one goal that you have for this summer over the next 3 months? What is something that you want to make a priority, whether it's something you've been thinking about doing for a long time or something that you've been working on for a long time, or just something that's like popped up that's like, man, I would really love to do this. We want to know, put it in the chat. And if you're feeling like you need help or support, or a system or any of the things that we've talked about, time blocking, habit stacking, then just write that in the comments and we'll either reply in the comments or we'll send you a personal message. We've got free resources and we have lots of help in our Get Fit Club. So if you're not a part of that, be sure you join. And we just want to help you guys start winning in your life.
Right. Yeah. And, I'm just going to say too, get loud when, we're posting, we're on here, get loud about what your goals are. Let's share them together. The whole point of us being here together is so everyone can win. We can all do it together. So we would love to hear from you guys. So.
All right. Well, thanks, Megan. And we'll see you guys on the next one.